Hey guys, so we're back looking at kilograms, right? Which is a way of measuring weight or mass, how heavy something is. And if you're thinking about a kilogram, this is what a kilogram weight might look like. It's kind of medium size. It weighs the same as a big book. Um, 7 apples weighs about 1 kilogram. Two things of hamburger for cooking in the kitchen might weigh about 1 kilogram. A big bottle of water, like a good size one that you buy at the store, might weigh 1 kilogram. Two big loaves of bread. So if you're looking for how much that really weighs, pick up a big book and you'll know, yeah, this is about a kilogram. Okay? Um, let's talk about the objective today. So the objective isn't really to get our hands on kilograms and scales because that's hard to do at a distance, but instead it's to read the scales, right? So imagine I give you a balance scale or a platform scale, and your job is to talk about what information you can read from that scale. Okay, so it's using some of those tools, not so hands-on, but reading them anyway. So let's take a look at two platform scales. Okay, so one of them is kind of an easy job, and the other one is easy, but there's a trick to it. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to tell you about a platform scale is they're usually round in a circle with a needle that points, an arrow that points to the number you want to look for. So definitely look around the circle for a pattern in the numbers you see. Sometimes all the numbers are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But other times they don't have room to put all the numbers in. And they just put some of the numbers in, and you're left to figure out what numbers are between. So for example, here's 0, and here's 2. They did not put the number 1 in, right? So I'm going to sneak a little 1 in there, just as a reminder to myself that right here, we have a 1. So it goes 1, 2, right here, there should be a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10 is the same as 0 again, and you need a better scale or a bigger scale to measure anything that is too heavy, right? So if I'm using this scale around the outside, I see the medium-sized lines, that's where my numbers are, right? But then I also see these smaller lines. These smaller lines, I don't want you to focus on those today. Those are halfway to 1, halfway to 2, right? So don't focus too much on those today because I think most of our answers today are going to be right on the number or right on where a number should be. So this first one is pretty easy. It's not on the 1, it's not on the 2 or the 3 or the 4, it's not on the 5 or the 6 or the 7. It's pointing right at the 8. So the answer to this first one is 8 kg. That is the abbreviation for kilogram. Okay, so 8 kg. Big bag of rice is going to weigh about 8 kilograms. How about this package I got in the mail? How much does this weigh? Well, remember what I said? They don't always put all the numbers on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? So now when I look at the scale, I'm seeing that the arrow, the needle on that scale is pointing right at the 7. That's a little bit trickier, right? Because they didn't have that number on there. So if I was you and I was looking at a scale and the number wasn't there, I'd try to figure out what is between. So for example, if I was stuck doing this one, I would look at 6 and I would look at 8 and I'd say, well, it's not 6, it's not 8, it's in between 6 and 8. Well, there's only one number in the world that's right in between 6 and 8, and that's the number 7. So sometimes you're going to have to use the numbers around it to help you. Around the needle. Here is a couple more scales, right? Here's a bag of rice. Here's a big bottle of cooking oil. You're looking at the scale and you're seeing that, oh, yep, I see it. It looks like it's just about 1 kilogram of rice. And then over here, this one's a little more than 1. It goes all the way down to the 2. right? So this one is 2 kg or kilograms of oil. Reading the scales today. That's the goal, okay? Now those are platform scales. I believe, oh, I got another platform scale. Oh, see what they've done here. Yeah, okay, so I see why I put this in here. Here they are having you look at 3 different things. And now that you're able to talk about how much they weigh, you might be asked which is the least, which is the most, right? So sometimes they'll have you look at 3 things and compare them, most, least, those sorts of words. Whoa, almost threw myself right off the page. Could you imagine? And here's that second scale I was going to show you. Some of the problems you do today are not going to have any numbers on a round dial in the middle. Instead, you're going to have the object you're weighing, and you're going to have the weights that make that object balance. This is called a balance scale, and the way it works is you put weights on the side until it balances, and then you count the weights. So how much are the potatoes? You would say the potatoes are 1, 2, 3 kg or 3 kilograms, because that's how many weights it took to balance. If you put too many weights, it would go out of balance. If you had too few weights, it would tip the other way, right? So you want to find balance when you're using this sort of scale. This is the page you're going to be working on today. It's page 191. You're just going to be working through some words like more than, less than, as heavy as. You're going to drag these words down to the spots they fit. We can do some of this together today too. I'll do number 4 just to see what's going on. The blank is the lightest. So it looks like this squash is, about 1. The pear is way lighter than 1 because 1 went down. And this package is, it looks like it's more than 1. Maybe it's 1.5, right? And I'm sorry these numbers are so small on the screen. So I would say of all of these things, the pear is probably the lightest. And I know that for a couple reasons. I've held a pear. Number 1, I know they're light. But also, I can read the scales and compare the different weights. Which one is heavy? Which one is heavier? Which one is heaviest? Right? Yeah, those sorts of words. Our second page is just reading some scales. Most of them point right at the number. Number 7 might be a little bit tricky. Remember to fill in those middle lines. Okay? I believe on the next slide, I have a math game for you. Thanks now.